Hello friends, it's Natasha. Thanks for joining me. Pilates inspired drills on the wall. I got a request, so here I am. We'll start with a quick warm up. We're going to circle the shoulders backwards and sweep them across. Give yourself a pat on the back. Circle out the wrists and then spread the fingers and place them on the wall. Send your hips back and allow your chest to sink in for a breath. Then we'll round our way into a plank on the wall, bend the elbows for a push-up. Try to send your chest forward, your gaze up, and press back to downward facing dog. Do it again. Round forward, find this wall plank, and then elbows to ribs, chest on the wall. If that doesn't feel too intense, round back to down dog. So think of this as a nice thoracic back bend. Rounding forward, arms take you chest to wall, heart forward, gaze up, and press back to that down dog position. We're going to take the knees to the ground, walk your hips to touch the wall, and take a little camel back bend. Heart up, let gravity take you into it. Take a nice deep breath, coming out when you're ready. We'll be turning around for some low lunge stretches. Your feet towards the wall, step out your right foot, and then see if you can take a gentle back bend. Maybe your fingertips tap the wall. You can elevate the front heel, take a breath, and step on in. Left foot forward, low lunge, reach back towards the wall. It's okay if you can't get there. You can elevate the front heel, sink into those hips, and bring it on back. Some cat-cow on all fours, some deep breathing. Take this next minute or so to do any stretches that you might need. Wrists, flipping them upside down, backwards, shoulders, neck, taking some down dog to open up through the hamstrings. Here, I'm going to press into a down dog with my heels on the wall and just drop into a cow back bend. So press, strengthening into the shoulders as you lift the hips, push down with effort, and then lower the knees and open up the chest. First exercise, we're coming onto our back. Your right foot's going to stay on the wall for some bridge work. Left foot will be elevated. Find almost a 90-degree tabletop position, and here we go. We're gonna lift and then extend, roll down like a string of pearls. So tuck and then straighten the leg as you lift the hips, and bend as you lower down vertebrae by vertebrae. Try to be really intentional on and off the spine. And we have a whole 90 seconds, so you can take your time here. Find your active range of length, which is your mobility. So you tuck and then pull the leg towards the face, and then tuck and roll on down. Hands can be wherever you feel comfortable, over the head or maybe down for some assistance. The focus here is your hamstring and your glutes, and then also using your core to articulate on and off the spine. Find that end of your range of split, and then the last 30 seconds, we're just gonna thrust, tuck, lift, and lower, lift and lower. So don't come all the way down, these little pulsing tucks. You're gonna feel the burn here. Pull the knee in, lift the hips and lower, lift and squeeze. See if you can hang in for these last 10 seconds. Of course, if you really need to take a break, go for it. You'll have 15 seconds coming up before we go to the other leg in 3, 2, and break. Go ahead and stretch out that right leg. Pull the leg towards the face, pull the knee into the chest, maybe a little external rotation, knee drops. And then we'll do that sequence again. Same thing, left foot on the wall. Here we go. Peel up, stretch to your split. Roll down as you bend the knee. Tap the wall. Tuck and lift and squeeze. So we go nice and slow. And then that last 30 seconds, we focus on the quicker pulses. On the final 30 seconds, slight change. We're tucking with the hip thrust pulse, not landing this time. Keep the hips elevated. Lift and lower. Tuck the knee, maybe you tap the wall, but keep the hips above the mat. Fight this out. I know it's getting challenging. Maybe you pull your arms down to put a little extra weight in the hands for support. Exhale each thrust. And rest. Quick stretches for that left hamstring and external rotation. And then we got to get up to standing because we're doing some wall sit squats and a hip thrust away from the wall. Maybe a quick fold. That's all you have time for. Here we go. Squat in and lift. We're going to squat down. Pull the hips away. You can tap the wall with your hands. Bring the hips down, lift and lower. We'll do a slight change again when we are down to our last 30 seconds, but just get this sequence of squatting down, pulling the hips forward, pressing the spine into the wall, and then straightening the knees. Squat, hip thrust away, come back, press that sacrum low back into the wall, lift and lower. Use the breath on exertion. Inhale up, exhale, sit. Stay really active, again, in that posterior chain. Squeeze the hips and glutes forward, roll back and lift, getting close to that 30 seconds where we're gonna stay in the wall squat. Again, you're gonna feel the burn, see if you can fight through, stay here. Press your spine into the wall. Option for some heel raises. I'm doing single, single, double. You could also add some arm movements just to take your mind off of this wall sit. Beautiful job. Go ahead and drop into a forward fold, release for a moment, and then we go into split leg lunges. One leg the whole time. These get pretty challenging. I lose my balance a bunch. Take your left foot on the wall. You're gonna bend and hinge down, tap the floor. Second one, just pull the knee towards the wall, stay upright. So one lunge with a hinge and one lunge trying to pull that knee towards the wall. If you need to reset your spacing, go ahead and come down and do that. You'll have plenty of time. Also, just to note, socks were probably not the best idea. I was sliding a bit. So sticking to the wall is better than sliding off of it. Forward hinge and then standing, knee back towards wall. I'm going to change this slightly. On the final 30 seconds, we will add a knee tuck into the lunge just to get your foot off the wall for a moment. If you need to, you can even step down and then come back into it. So we have one knee tuck and one lunge back. Knee to chest swing and then bend both knees. Tuck it out, bend it in, kind of like you're charging into that knee tuck. My legs are feeling it, so if you're hopping around like me, don't feel bad. You got this. Try to stay strong. Tuck and lunge and rest. Shake out those legs. Hanging forward fold is always a good one, or maybe a quick quad stretch. Then we'll go on to the second side. You're going to take your right foot back on the wall. Starting with the hinging lunge, go. And then upright lunge. So the first one you try to tap down, you fold, and the second one you stay upright and you just try to pull that knee towards the wall. Get your spacing right, so don't be afraid to readjust. You want to be able to reach down and then try to bring that knee towards the wall. Maybe it even taps. It is quite a big quad hip flexor stretch. Coming up on the slight change, if you need to step down for a moment, go for it. Then put your right foot back on. And we'll take that knee tuck, lunge back, slice and tuck, and hinge back. Think of charging off the wall, pulling the knee into the chest, and then reaching the toes back. Make it as big, as strong, as active as you'd like. Last seconds, and rest. Next one is similar to one of the warm-up drills we did. We're gonna do a push-up on the wall. You're gonna sweep the hips forward to that upward facing dog back bend, and then chest down to that wall down dog. Set yourself up, spread your fingers, push up, hips forward, heart up, exhale, down dog, press away. And you'll just have to move around and find your spacing to make this work. So your up dog, you could try to bring your chest to the wall, back bend, exhale, down dog. To make it harder, you can walk a little bit further away on the push-up. You can bounce the push-up, chest to wall, back bend, and down dog. Slight change, we're gonna add 2 knee tucks. Try to tap your knee to nose, then roll forward to plank push-up, press back to that down dog. 2 tucks, get nice and compressed, thigh to chest. Roll into your push-up. Down dog, 2 knee tucks. Pull it in, hamstring curl and tight compression tuck from the hip flexor, and then a big push-up. So we took out that up dog. If you want to make this more challenging, step a little further away from the wall. You'll be at a bigger angle for the push-up and for the tucks. Great job. Flip yourself over, come into a tabletop position. We're going to climb up the wall and hold an L-handstand and then climb back down. You can alternate the leg that steps up. Spread your fingers, bring your hips back. Here we go. You're going to walk up the wall and then try to bring your hips over your shoulders. You can let your head hang heavy. Then walk back down the wall. Knees lower, tabletop. Push the shoulders, lift to up dog, climb up. L position handstand, hips up, walk down, lower to the knees. Make this your own. Push away, walk on up. Strong shoulders, elevation, push them up towards the ears and towards the mat. If you're looking for more shoulder strength, hold these for a longer amount of time. Maybe stay up in that L for a couple breaths, then walk down the wall. That being said, you might also take longer times in your rest, stretching the wrists or shoulders before you get back in again.
I ain't never been one to not follow the signs. You're looking like a one-way. Gotta make the right choice. Hope I make the right noise. Hoping that you like boys like me. I know you're feeling me from across the room. I got a feeling you could be my muse. I hear strange when I see you. You say green, but I see blue. Either way, your eyes the ones I'm looking to. When I'm hell first, falling from heaven, baby. Living on.
Great job. Flip yourself around with your feet on the wall. We'll get off the hands now. We're coming into a V position, legs up, roll down, rolling down the spine. Stretch it out and then tuck the chin, round the shoulders up, roll up to the V. We're going to twist right, center, left, center, reach out and up and roll. Of course, you can bend the knees if your hamstrings are too tight to keep them nice and long here. Do what works for you. You can try to lessen that roll up momentum. If you can, just try to use your core. Rolling down, round the spine into that C curve. Head stretches down at the bottom. Exhale, tuck the chin and try to pull yourself forward. Then that rotation side to side. A little option you could try here on the twist, possibly dropping to forearm and then back to lifting off. Hang in there. Coming upon our last 20 seconds. Again, that's just an option to reach and lower to forearm. You did it. Flip yourself over into tabletop on forearms, giving yourself enough space to extend one leg behind you. This one might be a little tricky, so you have time to practice and learn. So come into a spinal balance with your right foot on the wall, left arm out. Here we go. We're going to bring your hand down and then tuck your knee towards your tricep. Try that again. You'll take your spinal balance, left hand down, right knee into tricep. Then bring it back to reset. Spinal balance, left hand down, right knee to tricep. Here's the change. Spinal balance, hand down. Now right knee, push into the wall and your left hand. Spinal balance. Left hand down, right knee to tricep. Left foot on wall. See if you can tuck your right knee into the tricep. So now you're floating completely off the wall. Here I'm trying to tuck my right knee in while in the spinal balance. Then put your left hand down. Left knee that's on the floor comes up. Just play around. Doesn't have to be exactly. I know this is a little bit confusing. We're just trying to essentially tuck both knees in. Now open up to side plank. Thread the needle and tap elbow to knee. So here, a little bit less tricky. We're in a side plank, one thread the needle, one elbow knee tap. Foot comes off the wall. Hopefully on the other side, you kind of know a little bit more what's to come. Here's your rest. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Set yourself in a forearm tabletop with enough space for your left leg to be straight and at the wall, foot to wall. Spinal balance, you're going to lift the right arm. Here we go. Then put the right hand down, left knee to left tricep. Push back into the wall. Now right knee to right tricep. Extend spinal balance, left knee to left tricep. Now right knee to right tricep. So we're pushing into that wall. And then if you want to try the left knee while you're in the spinal balance, then put your right hand down, right knee on tricep. Spinal balance, left knee tucks. Press into the wall, right hand down, right knee off, tuck. So think of these as this little crow pose, tap in, then hand down, now right knee on right tricep, tap in. Left knee, left tricep, press into the wall, hand down, right knee, right tricep. Here's the change. Lift into side plank, thread the needle, your left foot's on the wall, and then left knee to top elbow, top knee. Rotate under, thread the needle, twist, and elbow to knee tap. Thread the needle, twist, and squeeze, crunch those obliques. Abductor muscles, the side of the leg, as you tuck and crunch and extend, and then twist and lift. That was probably the trickiest one. You did it. Feel free to rewind and practice that move, or maybe if you take this class again, you'll be able to do it. Next one, back into the handstand. This time we're gonna try to jump up the wall, do some mountain climber knee tucks, inverted. Here we go, jump up, mountain climbers. You could count 4, 6, 8, whatever you'd like, as long as you can stay. And then you can try jumping down, pressing your weight into your hands, maybe even floating down with strong shoulders. If you don't feel comfortable doing these inverted mountain climbers, you could also just do mountain climbers right on your mat. And we're also gonna try to push away and float down off the wall. Spread those fingers, grip down, shoulders and core to find a little bit of float on your way off. Inverted mountain climber, and then press into those fingertips. See if you can float down. Take breaks. This one's a lot on the wrist, so if you need to just stretch them out, shake them out, and then try again. You might not be able to work the whole 90 seconds without taking some breaks. Great job. Circle out the wrists, shake them, swing the shoulders out. We're going to flip the other direction. Donkey kick with your hands on the wall. So still tabletop. This time your hands should be able to straighten out shoulder height. Giving you a few more seconds on this one to get there. So knees under hips. Stretch your arms out long. Drop your head. Donkey kick, right leg. 2 up, knees down, knees up. Now step forward. Now the left leg, arabesque back kick for 2. Come back to the knee and reset your donkey kick. This one might take you some time to find the exact placement you want to be in for your arabesque leg lifts and for your donkey lifts. So just kind of play around with where you need to step forward and where you need to step down. You have a whole minute left to figure it out. Leg squeezes up, knee down, right leg toes to sky for 2, then step forward, and then leg lift for 2. You'll probably need to bend the elbows there because you're walking forward, and then straighten them on the donkey kicks. Core to spine, belly in, step forward, leg lift, knee down, donkey kick, step forward, glute squeeze. Going back and forth. The right foot's doing the donkey kicks. You step forward, the left leg's doing those kickbacks. Hamstrings and glutes on. Second side, next drill. Beautiful. Sit back, take a couple breaths. We are going into the other side. So this time the left foot does the donkey kick, then steps forward. The right foot does the glute squeeze. Arabesques. Good. Set yourself up on the wall. Go. 2 donkey kicks, straight arms. Step forward. Now glute squeeze, straight leg this time. Bend the elbows, knee down. Come down softly on the knees. 2 donkey, bend the knee. Step forward, 2 straight leg glute squeeze. Imagine you're pressing through water on this, so we're not just flailing around. We're engaging the core. We're using the glutes and hamstrings. You don't have to race through it. Slow and steady. Active range of motion and active muscles. Great work. We're coming down onto our backs. Face up, hands long into the wall over the head. So come on down and see if you can bring your fingertips or your palm to the wall, straight elbows. We're going to reverse curl on the clock. Tap the wall if you can. And then slowly straddle, roll down the spine with control all the way to leg down. Up Reverse curl, toes to the wall, or maybe in between the hands towards the mat, and then straddle down nice and wide and controlled. You'll end in that low position. You might need to adjust yourself. You start to slide away from the wall, just take a moment to scoot yourself back in. Take your time on these. Come through that low leg, high lift, reverse curl, and then slow controlled straddle using your core to come down slow. Find your range of motion, challenge those edges, using the strength to find your mobility. On the last few rounds at the bottom of the straddle, if you'd like to crunch up, feel free to try that. Right here at the bottom of the straddle, you're gonna just curl your shoulders off the floor, reach forward and back. Then reverse curl up, straddle down, arms forward, crunch it up, low boat. Beautiful job. We are almost done. Coming into our last drill, turn yourself around on your belly. And just like the last one, you want to be far enough away so your elbows are pretty straight. Reach for the wall, spread your fingers. Here we go. You're going to lift, then float your arms back, flight, back to wall, and down. You might need to scoot yourself into the perfect position. We're lifting into Superman, back extension, and releasing. And you can also play with your own movements here. So a few like this, and then start to take it into your own, where maybe you lift, upper back, lower back, swan dolphin. You could start to flutter the legs in Superman, or maybe abduction moves where you pull your feet towards each other in some pulses. Here are those flutter kicks and adduction, inner thigh, squeezing that whole back side. Now I'm doing some hamstring curl, flex, flex, point, pulse, curl, curl, straighten, curl, curl, straighten. Still using that upper back. And release, come back in for more, sweeping up and back. 20 seconds. Again, just make these your own, really fight for them. I know it's challenging. 90 seconds is a lot on some of these. Squeeze your back body, lift into that flight locust, pull back to Superman. Maybe you do a bow pose. And you made it. Take your left ear to the mat, palms up, shoulders heavy, breathe into the back, maybe shimmy the hips a little bit. Take your head up and over, right ear to the mat, shoulders heavy, breathe. Moving into some stretches, grab the left top of your foot if you can, hamstring curl, reach your right arm to the wall, and see if you can lift up into that half bow. Maybe that right leg lifts as well. And switch, grab your right outside top of the foot, left hand to wall, see if you can kick up, hug it in, kick it up. Maybe the right leg floats as well. And release. Press yourself up to a plank. Walk yourself into a downward facing dog. High heels, low heels, bend the knees and straighten. Again, lift high, stretch onto the arch of the foot. Heels down, knees down. Push back, downward facing dog. Now let your hips swivel to the right, the left knee will bend. Press the shoulder down, lift the hips, side plank, back to down dog. Same thing, left hip sweeps down, right knee bends. Push back up, shoulder down, hips up, side plank, and back to your downward facing dog. Step the right foot forward, drop the left knee, find a low lunge shape, and sweep back into a half split, back and forth a couple of times, following the breath, finding those sticky spots wherever you're feeling tight. Step back to down dog, same thing, step forward on the left foot, fingers or hands to wall, right hip flexor and quad stretch, and then sweep the hips back, try to straighten the front leg, moving back and forth, low lunge to half split. You don't need to follow my pace here. We're at the end of class, just go where the stretches feel good. When you're ready, press back into down dog and then walk yourself towards the wall. So your back of your shoulders and your spine try to fold into the wall. Big hamstring stretch, lean into it. Maybe you elevate your heels. Again, just explore, forward fold on the wall, feels pretty good. And when you're ready to come out, back yourself up, ragdoll up. Take a deep breath in, big sigh out. Thank you so much for joining me. See you soon.